Hi everyone, this is Anand here once again, and we're going to be talking about cookies and what are cookies, how cookies are used in terms of marketing, and how these marketers can leverage cookies for enhancing their entire customer journey and probably better customer acquisition as well, more towards personalized communication. So we'll start with understanding cookies. So yeah. So let's understand what are cookies. So cookies are nothing but a small identifier that every browser is assigned by a website or a web property. So, to make it, to take an example, so let's say if this is a website which uses cookies, people would visit this website using our browser, and every browser is unique to every device. So in a way, the browser is mapped to the device because every device has a unique browser. Yeah. So what happens is when this browser visits this website, and this browser is nothing but a user. So the browser visits the website. The website assigns a unique identification number to this browser. So let's say this identification number could be A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, whatever that this website wants to practice as a in terms of creating a unique ID. So it could be anything, alphanumeric, numeric, whatever. So the website decides what it is. But then this is a unique ID which is mapped to the browser. So what then happens is, now this browser has been assigned this ID. So now whatever this ID, whatever activity this ID does on your website is stored in the website's backend database. Now this is the database of website. So whatever activity that you do on the website can be stored in the website's database. So when I say activity that you do, it could capture the URLs visited, the IP through which you had landed on the website, the source through which you would have visited the website, the buttons that you would have clicked, probably and not more information, whatever meaningful information that a marketer would want to capture. So let's say I want to capture how many, that is scroll depth of the page as well. How many people click on the mentors button, how many people click on the submit now button, or and then do not fill an inquiry form. So all those data could be saved in the website's database, and this entire data would be allocated to this unique ID. Right? So now this ID has a lot of information saved about whatever this ID has done on the website. The browser leaves the website with so much of information, but still the browser is an unknown entity. The only identification here is the this ID which has been assigned to the browser, and this ID is the cookie ID is what a lot of developers would use this term. But then what happens is, next time when this browser revisits the website understands that this cookie has returned back on the website, and that's when the website can start personalizing, saying, okay, welcome back. We are seeing you for the second time. And then, of course, whatever communication that you want to communicate to a second time visitor on your website. But then the important thing is the website understands that this is a repeat visitor. So second time this cookie visits the website again, and then again the same kind of information is stored in the database as to whatever activities that this person has done. So what this cookie ID does is it tags all the various sessions that a user spends on the website. So when I say session, what is that session is when a person visits a website, stays on the website for some time and then leaves. So that is one session. So this is where all the information related to one session is saved. And this is how when you visit a lot of e-commerce sites, you might have visited them 5 days back. You probably selected 3-4 products in your shopping cart, and then you did not buy. and then 5 days later, when you revisit the website, you could see the same products in the shopping cart, because whatever products that you added in the shopping cart is saved against your cookie. The moment your cookie revisits the next time, the same products can be collected from the previous session and can be shown in the shopping cart. So this is how sessions are mapped using cookie. And let's say how this can be used in data science or predicting the sales outcome of a visitor. So let's say this cookie visits the website again, and then now this time ends up in a sale. So you, in this case, the same cookie had 3 sessions, would have probably had chosen multiple paths before the sale happened. So now imagine if a website stores this kind of information for a lot of cookies. So towards the end, you have a huge data of people who transform into sale, depending on whatever activity that they've done, the number of sessions, the pages they visited, the buttons they clicked. So all of these information, which is saved in form of columns in the database, this entire data could be used by the data scientist team to predict the outcome of a visitor who's visiting probably the 3rd time on the website and has shown similar kind of behavior on the website. So that's how cookies function. And this information is important because you're going to be personalizing your content. When I say content, so this personalization could be used in terms of the pop-up offers that happens. This also happens in terms of the pricing that you would want to showcase in terms of dynamic pricing. So let's say if I want to, for a first time user, let the cost be 100 rupees, but for a second time user, I want to reduce the price by, let's say, 5%. My system should be aware that this person is visiting me for the first time, and that's where all these information could be handy. So I can set a backend rule if my system uses cookies, saying that every time a person who visits for the second time, let me offer him a dynamic pricing. So I think that's something a lot of websites are already using it, and now as a marketer, I think we will be using a lot more of dynamic stuff in terms of content, in terms of pricing, in terms of videos, in terms of images, in terms of all kinds of content that we can see. So yes, that is where these are used. So what happens when a browser deletes the cookie? So let's say this is a browser history with a unique cookie ID, and it could be a sale, or let's say in the 3rd visit the browser would have finished a lead. The lead could be a name captured, or an email, or a phone number, or any unique identifier that I would have assigned. And let's post this browser clears the cookie. So once this browser clears the cookie, second time the same browser visiting the website would again generate a fresh cookie. And this time it could be, let's say, just an example. So now it is the same browser which has been assigned a fresh cookie because the browser cleared the cookie. So what happens again is now this cookie will start. So now the website will start storing information related to this cookie in the database, in the same database yourself, right? And again it will have all these sessions pertaining to the same cookie. Now let's say in this session, this browser again fills an inquiry form, fills a name or an email ID or a phone number, any unique ID which could be mapped to this database. Then it is the same browser which had created a set of cookie here, information here, and a set of information here. And these two could be mapped, and then you have the entire journey of the customer in terms of whatever the customer has done. So this is how cookies function. Of course, let's say if this cookie wouldn't have done any activity on the website, I won't be able to find out whether this is lead sale, and then the person clears the cookie and visits again. I will not have any idea as to who this browser was. So how you can use this information, because you know that your websites are using cookies. So one, as a marketer, I think one thing that we have to keep in mind is, can we somehow enhance or entice the customer to leave one unique identifier, if not a phone number, an email ID, if not an email ID, if a name. And that's where you have a lot of CRO, conversion rate optimization techniques, a lot of brands are using. That's where only it could come handy. And I think that's one reason a lot of times you see bigger brands using email marketing, and they would probably ask you to register every time. You go to their website, visit, and every time you visit the website, they would probably ask you to register again and again. And you would keep wondering as to, in fact, a lot of bigger brands who have your email and use email marketing extensively, you would very often realize that every time they send you an email with a bait for you to register, they will always ask you to sign up. And then as a user, I would always question as to if this business already has my email ID, what's the point of asking me to sign up again and again? Why do they ask me to sign up for an email ID again and again? They already have it in the database, so why do I waste time in terms of doing it? So one of the reasons for them to do so is this logic.
So the simple reason that they would probably track every time you click on the email and you visit the website, they would probably want to ensure that in the meantime, if you would have cleared all your cookies, then they have this missing link. As in, let's say you had cookie this assigned to you, and then you cleared, so that the system generated another cookie for you, and then there are a couple of more sessions that you generate with respect to this cookie, and then you had few sessions with respect to this, but then the missing link between these two could be your email ID, and that's why they know this email ID, but they would want to ensure that every time you visit the website, they ask you to register, so that the email ID could be mapped to the new cookie. Because when you click on that email and visit the website, there could be there is a possibility the developer might not do. I'm not sure because I'm not that kind of techie. But yeah, I understand that when I click on an email and visit the website, this email ID is passed on to the website, can be passed on to the website through the browser, and the cookie ID could be assigned this email, but a simpler version could be once the person submits an inquiry form, this email could be straight away assigned to this cookie. So then you have this one single email ID which had one cookie and had few sessions and then cleared, and then you have the same email ID which was assigned a new cookie ID and had more sessions. You could connect the missing dots and you can have the entire customer journey to yourself. So probably that could be one reason a lot of them would be using it. So does that mean that cookies spy on us, as in when we are visiting any website, do the cookies actually spy on us? Do we know that? No. So actually cookies don't spy on us, because like I said, cookie is nothing but if this is your web browser, there is a small piece of code, I wouldn't say code, it is a small identification, that's only an ID and nothing else. The ID is stored in your browser. So this ID is basically recognized only by the website which generated this cookie. So this cookie is identified only by the website which generated this cookie. So let's say example, this is website A. And this is website B. Both of these websites use cookies. So website A associates the same browser unique ID, and the website B would also assign a specific ID to the same browser, and which could be whatever. So if when this browser visits website B, even though this ID could be there on the browser, this website B does not understand what this code refers to, because this code does not have any piece of information. The piece of information is in the database of the user, and since this is a code which is generated by this website, the whatever activity that the browser does on website B, whatever activity that the browser does on website B, website A's database will not be able to fetch any of those information, because the cookie will not be active on website B. Similarly, when website B adds a cookie to the browser, the same browser visits website A, whatever activity that the user does on website A, website B will not have any clue on it, unless and until website B and A, they share the same data. When I say data, they probably have the same backend system, or they use the same software which is used multiple cases, which happens in case of Google, which is you have google.com, which is the search engine, you have YouTube, which is a video platform, you have GDN, Google Display Network. So this is Google's system, this is Google system, this is Google's system. So basically, the same cookie which is assigned by the search engine can be used in GDN, can also be used in YouTube from a logic and theory perspective. I'm not sure how Google works, so but just to give you a perspective, if all these three websites happen to share the common system, then probably whatever the user has done as an activity here, in terms of whatever the user searches, the same kind of ads could be pushed on YouTube, because these two belong to the same organization, and then the same can be pushed to Google Display Network. So if I had three websites with different domains, I could still use same cookie to enhance. So that's all about cookies. So where more do we use these cookies? So remarketing is one such extensive marketing practice wherein cookies are used very extensively. So what happens in remarketing is you visited a website. So let us understand how cookies. Work for remarketing. When I say remarketing is when people visit my website and they visit Facebook, they visit Google, or which all platforms, and then my ads could be following wherever they are. So how this happens is, so let's say this is our website. So a browser visits my website can assign a cookie, but my website is not capable of pushing ads on YouTube, or pushing ads on the search engine, or pushing ads on Google owned properties, because Google is the legitimate owner of all of them, right? So even though I could be using a cookie on my website for this browser, but then I won't be able to go beyond this step, nor will Google be able to understand who is my website visitor. So if in case I wanted to leverage Google or Facebook or any other ad network for remarketing, the first thing is these guys will need to map the browsers visiting my website, right? They will need to know which all browsers visit my website, and that is where, in case of remarketing, what you do is you generate a code from Google, add it to the website, or you generate a code from Facebook, add it to the website, or you generate a code from any other ad network, add it to your website. So once you've added their piece of code to your website, so what this code can do is this code can start marking the browser with their own cookie, and then the entire remarketing process could follow for them. So once Google understands that these browsers are a website of LIPSINDIA, Google can push LIPSINDIA ads to this browser across the Google network. Similarly, when Facebook understands it, Facebook will be able to use it. So cookie lies at the core of digital marketing, be it in terms of advertisement, remarketing, or be in terms of personalization of content. So as a marketer, how do we generate cookies? So we don't generate cookies because it needs a little bit of technology. So when you're getting a custom made website, probably it is your developer who will help you do this. And when you're looking at CMS platforms, you'll have to look at plugins if there are any which are ready made, which can store the information. But then information stored is useless unless and until it transforms into some kind of action. So that's where you'll have to. So if you're playing with WordPress, you'll have to look at cookies who can platforms who can store cookies, and at the same time the platforms who can share the same kind of information to any other plugin to maybe automate the process to send a real-time email or send a real-time SMS or dynamically change the pricing of the product. But yeah, that's something which I think is where we are moving towards the automation part. We're moving towards personalization of content. But yes, cookie will remain at the core of the marketing. And yes, a lot of countries clearly have as a policy that state as a policy that if you guys are using cookies on your website, you'll have to alert the user that you use cookies to enhance the experience of the user. So thanks a lot for today.